Hello, hello. Lesson 238. Isn't that great? On my decision, all salvation rests. So yesterday, we would be as God created. Me, you, us. We are settling in more to who and what we are. So on my decision, all salvation rests. So at this point, it's up to you. It's a decision, it's a choice, it's a matter of what are you focusing on, it's a matter of what thought system you're being guided by, what are you listening to, what are you following, what are you believing. It is on your decision. Father, your trust in me has been so great, I must be worthy. You created me and know me as I am, and yet you placed your Son's salvation in my hands and let it rest on my decision. I must be loved of you indeed, and I must be steadfast in holiness as well, that you would give your Son to me in certainty that he is safe, who still is part of you and yet is mine because he is myself. Wow. And so again, today we pause to think how much our Father loves us and how dear his Son, created by his love, remains to him whose love is made complete in him. So anyways, we're supposed to be feeling good about who we are. We're supposed to be feeling worthy and knowing that everything rests. Salvation rests on your decision, on my decision, on our decision. So yeah, you don't have to do anything, right? But it is quite their responsibility when you think about it, but then it's totally up to you. Jesus, for lesson 238, talked about these lessons of A Course in Miracles might seem weighty with responsibility, but they are indeed lessons in freedom. Yes, the Course in Miracles is giving you freedom lessons. When you align your mind with the divine mind, when you align your mind with love, you become an asset, not only to yourself, but to the world. And everything falls in place, in perfect place, when you align your mind with love and the divine mind. It is your decision. It is your choice. You are the creator of your future experience, and your future experience will reflect your frequency. So if your frequency is holding on to the past, you're planting seeds of the same for your future. So it's very important to forgive and become peaceful. Release your thoughts of the past, or yes, you will be planting seeds for your future. You are the creator of your future experience, and it will reflect your frequency. So we do want to align our frequency with the divine, with love, with good experiences, and not just in a judgment way of good and bad, but just we don't always have to learn through pain, even though that has been our past. I just had a conversation with Chad this morning about how I definitely hold this belief within me that the ego thought system taps into a lot, that I associate personal growth with pain and rejection and betrayal. And, because anytime anyone's ever hurt me in the past, I've really grown stronger from it. So the ego makes you think you want more of that. But actually, the Holy Spirit now is telling us you don't need to learn those lessons the hardest way anymore. You don't have to have pain to grow. You need love. At this point, you're going to find the most growth in love, in the divine, in aligning with the holy mind. So on that note, we do want to align with love and the divine mind so that we can raise our frequency and project that into the future. pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the Reading A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 238 Insights. On my decision, all salvation rests. Myself is God's Son. Myself is the one self we all share. In this self, which is love, that unites us all as one and unites us with God. Being love, this self shares God's holiness. My only decision is whether to accept this self as my identity or to choose a fake identity. This fake identity is made up and therefore cannot be united with the self that is my reality. This fake identity is limited and weak, fearful and riddled with guilt. It sees attack and destruction everywhere and never feels safe. Its existence depends upon attack to protect itself from attack. Peace is impossible to this fake identity, for it sees itself as alone and separate from the many other identities that seem to populate its world. Belief in this identity makes it seem to be real, and the identity created by God seems unreal. But believing in this fake identity is a decision, yet it is a decision that can be reversed. This fake identity ceases to to exist the moment it is no longer supported by my belief. This is salvation. The moment I realize all belief in separate identities, the world is free, and I remember the self God created as His Son. The extension of love replaces the projection of guilt. Peace replaces conflict, and God's glory replaces a sense of unworthiness. One decision made without reservation changes it all. Belief in a separate identity has been reinforced layer upon layer, and so the undoing of this belief seems to come layer by layer. There still seems to be reservations in choosing against the false identity. Some aspects of this false identity still seem to be attractive. Gratefully, as I let go of believing I am separate and alone, the false identity is less and less attractive. More and more, I realize and accept that my happiness lies in accepting that I am love and nothing else. And so is everyone. Holy Spirit, guide my vision today to see the love in everyone, that I may recognize myself. Thus will I contribute to the salvation of the world, which cannot be complete while I believe there could be anything but love. Holy Spirit, help me to see that only love is real. Love extends only love. Love's extension is God's one Son. There are not a million different sons. There is only one Son, which is love. If I think I am something other than love, I am mistaken. Love is constant. Love is changeless. Because I have believed that something else was real, my job now is to refuse to support the world of dreams and malice. My job is to let these dreams go quietly down to dust. My job is to lay these dreams aside so the memory of God, the memory of truth, can return to my awareness. God is always there as I am willing to lay illusions down. Truth is true and nothing else is true. Today, am I going to support illusions or support the truth? God's trust in me is total. Today I practice seeing past dreams of separation to what is eternally true. Today I practice opening up to my one self, remembering I have never left. Dreams are just dreams and have nothing to do with reality. Today I would practice remembering this is so. pathwaysoflight.org. So yeah, do you still want to believe that you're anything other than love? You know, it's certainly, if we are listening to the ego, we think, oh yeah, I am actually definitely not loving right this second, but that's not you. You're just entertaining the ego's thoughts. You're just entertaining dreams of separation. So it's definitely a big lesson in freedom, as you take responsibility for your decision to choose. Every moment you get to choose. So if you haven't been choosing love, you get to, of course, get another opportunity to choose again. So that's the lesson, guys. Lesson 238. On my decision, all salvation rests. On my decision. So every time you get to choose love and you get to lay down your illusions and dreams and judgments and hate and attack and malice, you can just keep laying all this stuff down and following love. You're adding to the goodness of it all. You're adding to salvation. So just really understand how much you are loved, because you are love. So it's probably more incredible than we can even sometimes think about. So your trust in me has been so great, Father. I must be worthy. So feel really good about this. You created me and know me as I am. So you are love. You are. And don't let the ego tell you any different. Because what the ego does is it gets you to entertain these horrible thoughts, and then it makes you feel bad for entertaining the thoughts. So don't let yourself feel the guilt, because that means you're still in the ego thought system. You know, just really, you got to lay it down like it was an illusion, a dream, it was nonsense, and forgive yourself for having followed the ego thought system. But yeah, the ego's snarky and sneaky, and it will get you to think thoughts of malice and judgment and betrayal and hate and all this other not love stuff. And then it'll make you feel bad for it, and it's just keeping you in its grip. So you are loved, you are love, and you are worthy. So decide today to constantly align yourself with love.